We haven't done sneak peeks into the future of some units that are currently available in the JP version of Final Fantasy Brave Exvius for quite a while, but we're going to start doing that again. I like to let them build up a little bit, learn about them a little bit, and today we're going to be starting off with that again with the two of the newest units that are available on JP, which actually be the two new Type 0 units. Ace and Rem got re-released as brand new characters, and they work in a pretty unique way. If you're familiar with the new Monk Duo units, where they are physical damage dealers, they have physical attacks, they do magic damage based off their spirit, these two units will be pretty similar, except they do physical attacks, they do magic damage based off of their magic. So they're going to be doing physical attacks, which is a huge boon because you can imbue them, you can use physical killers with them, and all of those best of both worlds scenarios. They're not going to have the big giant spirit that these other characters do have, but they're going to be able to have even more of their offensive stat compared to the monks when they do come out, because it's easier to get true dual wield magic more than the 100% true dual wield spirit, because there's no really true dual wield spirit cap. So they have even more damage, higher multipliers, all that cool stuff. And if you're a fan of Type 0 or these two characters, you want to have them heyday back in your team again, these are the two that you're going to be looking at. So let's transform ourselves right here into CG Ace. Is going to be the first character we're going to be going over. CG Ace, like we just talked about, he's the Bolting Strike / Mystic Cross. Bolting Strike we have in the global version of FFBE. Mystic Cross, not so much. So when he comes out the global, maybe he will have Mystic Cross still, maybe he won't. Mystic Cross is kind of like a dead, non-existent chain family in global. Never really came out in global. But his TMR is a throwing weapon. 44 attack, 144 magic with 20% magic on top of that. It also has 25% demon and machine killer for both physical and magical damage. So very strong TMR weapon for him. The super TMR here is an accessory 60 magic, 50 spirit, which also makes you immune to magic and spirit break for 99,999 turns. That's an auto cast at the start of the battle and when he's revived. So let's go down in here. Let's boil down to what does CG Ace really do? Weapon selections: knives, rods, harps, whips, and throwing weapons. So a lot of the basic true dual wield magic stuff that you'd want to have access to, he has access to that. He's got hats, clothing, robes, and light armor on top of that. So let's get on in here. His series bonus boss battle / EP skill he'll have when he is released. It's a 7-turn cooldown available on turn 1. It's going to be the Mystic Cross chaining family, so it's going to be some sort of chaining skill when it comes out in global, and it's going to be a 20 times mod, and it's going to allow you to provoke one of your allies as well on top of that. So it's not going to provoke him, it's going to provoke someone of your choice, so you can make it your tank. It doesn't really have a downside. How great the skill is really kind of okay. The mod's 20 times there. So let's get into some of his other damage dealing skills here. He's got Bolting Strike 10 times mod. He's got Mystic Cross 13 times mod, which eats up a spell, so sort of the manufactured Nethicite sort of thing. If you come up against a boss who casts spells that you want to absorb, he's going to have access to that for you. He's got another one here, which is 15 times mod and gives everyone AoE dodge, Mirage for 1 stack for 1 turn. That's going to be helpful there as well. He's also going to have these following 2 skills, which are going to be a 100% lightning imperil with a lightning imbue while it does lightning damage, and the other one's gonna be a 100% ice imperil with ice imbue for 6 turns there, so very lengthy there, and the modifiers on those are 15 times before any sort of modifier boosts. Now he also does have this skill right here, his final 6-star skill that he is able to dual cast / triple cast, and it's going to be a Mystic Cross chaining skill as well. And like we said, Mystic Cross might not be a thing in global, but it's going to be some sort of chaining skill. It's not going to be like a chain finisher skill when it comes out. It's going to be a 20 times mod, and it's also going to give you a 4-turn buff for demon and machine killer of 50% to yourself. If used after one of his other skills, it's going to give you a 75% demon and machine killer buff for 6 turns, and it's going to be a 24 times multiplier there. Now he does have dual cast and triple cast. So dual cast at 6-star, once you get to 7-star, level 101, he's going to have triple cast for all these skills. And then we get into his cooldown skills here. The first one here is a 3-turn cooldown available on turn 1, 250% magic increase buff for himself there for 4 turns that can't be dispelled. It's gonna be a 35 times multiplier. The Mystic Cross skill after that, it's gonna be a 30 times mod, spammable skill. It's gonna unlock some extra skills, which is going to be his shtick. As you will see, he unlocks a bunch of skills that you can use that do a bunch of different things, and he's not really limited to these strong 30 times multipliers, which is kind of where we are right now for mages right now. That's just kind of what he does. A lot of the mages that we have right now kind of strive for 30 times mods. He just has them, and he gets stronger stuff. So this one has like paralyze and stop associated with it, not that big of a deal. The next one here is a 30 times mod that enables an HP related skill that's also going to auto heal himself for a little bit the following turn. His following skill after that, 30 times mod that gives him some MP, and it gives him an MP restoration skill the following turn after that as well. Then he's got Ice and Lightning and Peril of 100% for 3 turns, 36 times multiplier, spammable skill that unlocks a extra skill that we'll get over and talk about after that. And then the skill after that we're going to be talking about is a 4-turn cooldown available on turn 4. It is a magic attack, 60 times multiplier to 1 enemy, a chaining skill there as well. So Mystic Cross / Bolting Strike. If Mystic Cross was probably going to get thrown out, maybe it's going to change to another skill. Maybe they will eventually bring Mystic Cross over. We don't know there. His following 2 and final skills here, 6-turn cooldown available on turn 1. This is going to be the new Type 0 cooldown skills, sort of like the old Type 0 5-star bases had the ability to like sacrifice themselves to fill up your Evo gauge. They sort of have that same thing again here. So 6-turn cooldown available on turn 1. It's going to fill your Evo gauge up. It's going to give 40 limit burst gauge crystals to your entire party. It's going to dispel yourself, and then it's going to kill yourself. So there's no like putting re-raise on and then using the skill having them get re-raised, because if you have re-raise on, it's going to dispel the re-raise and then it's going to kill CG Ace here. So there's no way to like really cheese that with re-raise. You have to like raw raise them back up after they have destroyed themselves there. But also on top of filling your Evo gauge, just gives 40 limit burst crystals to your entire party, which is pretty powerful for all the different Type 0 units are going to be able to have this skill here. And then the final skill here is a 14-turn cooldown that is available on turn 7, and it's going to unlock not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 different skills for him to use afterwards. And then we get into his passives here. He has the ability to summon any Esper in your party. So if you have like utility Espers on some of your supports and stuff, and he has like a turn where he doesn't really want to do damage, you can use this turn to summon Golem, Blockshmi, Phoenix, Carbuncle, whoever it is that was Fenrir for the AoE Mirage if you need to. You can have him summon that stuff if you want to. He has base dual wield. He's going to have immunity to confusion. He's going to have a 50% passive limit burst damage buff. He's going to have an auto cast skill that's going to give him an auto cast skill that we'll go over. And then he's also going to have passive demon and machine killer 50% there. He's going to get some attack MP Esper bonus stats, 40% magic, 20% HP, some high tide 50% there. Another passive 100% demon and machine killer passive. So he's really hating on those demon machine killers, and he is going to be a true dual wield mage there. So he gets 50% true dual wield here. He's going to get some more true dual wield later on top of that. He's going to get another 40% magic, 20% defense and spirit, 20% physical dodge. His trust ability here, which is activated by his STMR or TMR, 20% magic, spirit, and MP, 50% additional high tide, 50% more Esper bonus stats, 100% evoke damage. He's not really a summoner, but they threw that in there as well. So his TMR or trust ability isn't really that great, honestly. But you might put it on there because his weapon is pretty strong, all things considered there. He has an auto cast skill, CG protagonist skill, so he's going to come with his full limit burst there. And then he gets 40% more magic, 20% spirit, HP, attack, and defense, and then an additional 50% true dual with magic, 20% MP, an additional 20% physical dodge on top of the other 20%, so that's 40% physical dodge there, 50% magic evasion, so 40% physical evasion, 50% magic evasion, and then some multiplier boosts for his other skills there. 20 times multiplier, this is for that weak 10 times mod up here, so this 10 times mod is actually a 30 times multiplier if you just want to throw that out whenever you want to, which isn't that big of a deal because it's got other 30 times mods there, and then some 9 times modifier increases to some of his other skills, and then he has a 100% chance to ignore fatal damage when his HP is above 5%, and it locks him at 5% HP. So if you have like an accessory that gives him like a 1% HP lock, like Chocobo Fina's Super TMR or Lucid Lenses from normal Queen Super TMR, you can actually combo that with this because he'll have an HP lock at 5%, get hit, not die, and then get hit again, not die, and have an HP lock at 1%, and then he can die after that. His conditional skills we'll go over as fast as possible here. The thing that auto casts every turn here, evocation gauge 1 crystal per turn. After you clear the series bonus boss battle or the EP skill, he'll unlock this stuff for free in the global version. He has the ability to give 10 MP okay to all allies there, nothing crazy. He does start with a full limit burst gauge crystal, and then all of this stuff down here, that all of these unlock skills, I know it's pretty cool. They're all chaining skills, and they all do very similar things. They all are slightly above 30 times multiplier. They are vary between a 30 times, 32 times multiplier, for these original ones up here that kind of do other things like heal your HP a little bit, heal your MP a little bit, grant HP barriers, grant an auto revive to your whole party for 1 turn. These are all the different skills that you can unlock with him. And then we have the big hitting ones here that have 100, 110, 120% imperil for fire, ice, and lightning. And they have, you know, 42, 39, 45 times multipliers here for him. So he's got really, really high multipliers. He's a very strong character. And then, not to be done, he's got Libra, and his Limit Burst here gives him a 250% magic bonus for 4 turns to the caster, and is a 72 times multiplier there. So very strong character here, 9 times multiplier, and he's very popular over in JP right now. I know a lot of people are pretty hyped up for him. He's very strong, very cool, and his sprite is actually really, I like their sprites, right? They don't look very different compared to the old Ace and Rem sprites, but the difference is like in the detail in how they're animated. And if you've gotten a chance to look at the animations for the sprites, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. They're very fluid, right? Their hair's moving around. There's like stuff that, particles that fly around them and stuff. They look very, 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 very cool. But the unit I think is actually better than CG Ace. I think actually Beloved Girl Rem is even better than he is, because he is a true dual wield character for true dual wield magic, but he doesn't have the true dual wield cap. And because they are physical attacks, they do magic damage scaled off their magic, true dual wield cap does actually apply to them, and Rem actually has the 6 times multiplier true dual wield cap. So let's go over her real quick here. Her TMR, her materia is fantastic. It gives you 30% magic, 30% spirit, 10% HP, 25% true dual wield magic, and 200% increase in potency from healing items. So this is gonna be a big deal in the JP version if you guys are playing JP out there, because you're gonna be able to stack them. You'll be able to stack this, materia, whereas global players aren't gonna be able to stack this more than likely. And that's a big deal because 25% true dual wield magic is like really hard to come by, right? There's like, this is an instance of 25% true dual wield magic, and then like Morgana's super TMR in globals 25% true dual wield magic. It might actually be 25% true dual wield magic in JP2, but being able to stack this allows you to use 2 of these materia and then maybe some other 50% true dual wield magic equipment, either accessories or materia as well. So that's going to be something that's going to differentiate her in JP than in global, the being able to stack her materia. Her materia gets way better in JP because you're going to be able to use 2 of them, whereas you can't in global. Her super TMR here is a dagger, 22 attack, 171 magic, 120 spirit, 100% high tide, and allows you to dual wield weapons. So it's another fantastic dagger up there. It's going to be the best mage dagger if you are looking to, you know, true dual wield anyone, basically. You know, maybe even after Rem gets outdated at some point, because all damage dealers do, you're gonna be able to put this on someone who can wear daggers. Any mage that's able to wear daggers, even if they don't have native dual wield, and this is gonna fulfill very strong 171 magic and allow you to dual wield your character on top of that. So that's gonna be pretty powerful. Now let's get into our kit here. Weapon selection: knives, swords, staves, rods, and whips. Armor selection: hats, clothing, light armor, and robes. So nothing crazy there, and nothing to be disappointed about. She does have dual cast. She does have her basic healing skills. She has the ability to remove all status effects from all allies and all status ailments from all allies, which is pretty big there. So we're talking like everything in the game, status ailments and status effects, so breaks, all that other stuff. She does have some nice supportive kit on top of being a very good damage dealer. And then MP drain, nothing crazy. Now we're getting to her skills here. You're gonna see that she's fire, ice, and lightning based, just like Ace is, and these are going to be some ways for her to imperil by 90% and imbue herself for these 3 elements, as well as doing a little bit of damage there. These 3 skills actually aren't physical attacks that are based off of your magic. These are just straight up magic attacks, but she does get other ones later on. Honestly, I don't know why these ones are really here, because you'll see right after this, she's going to come down here. She gets triple cast black magic, and then she's got these 3 skills: fire, ice, and lightning. Physical attacks that are scaled off of your magic that do magic damage. They have higher multipliers right now. They're gonna be better. They have the same imperil, but it lasts a little bit longer there, 6 turns instead of 3 turns there, and then imbue lasts 6 turns. So this is definitely gonna be the better thing for her to cast. Obviously these ones are Mystic Cross and these ones are Bolting Strike, so you know, Global loves Bolting Strike, so this could be another Bolting Strike character probably. She also still retains the use some of her Limit Burst gauge to give everyone some MP if you need to do that. And then we'll start getting down to her damage dealing skills here. So the first one here increases physical damage against machine monsters and demon monsters by 30% for 3 turns to all allies. It's gonna be a 55% spirit break. It's gonna be a 20 times multiplier there. If you use it after one of her other skills, it's gonna be a 50% buff to your entire party for 3 turns. It's gonna be a 70% spirit break. It's gonna be a 24 times multiplier. Now, this is not by far her best damage dealing skill. She actually has way better ones that are easy access. This is more of a supportive aspect. Now, she does have dual cast, and she does have triple cast on top of all of this. So she's not like locked into a dual cast with the 6 times mod. She's not be one of those characters. She's going to have triple cast on top of all that stuff. So let's get into her 7-star skills here. Triple cast is the first one here. The first cooldown skill, 3-turn cooldown available on turn 1. Increases magic by 250% for 4 turns to the caster. That can't be dispelled. And this be a 34 times multiplier there, both in straight chaining frame family. The one after that, she's going to have a cooldown skill, very nice supportive one, 4-turn cooldown, available on turn 1. Auto revive for 100% HP for 2 turns to your entire party, 50% damage mitigation for 2 turns to your entire party, and a very, very potent heal of regen, 10,000 HP with a 5 times spirit or 5 times healing multiplier split over 2 turns as well. So that's going to be a very potent heal over your course of 2 turns. That's literally going to be probably 10,000 HP per turn, depending on how much spirit you have on her. With that healing multiplier there, you know, maybe 6,000, 7,000 if you have low spirit. But, you know, from a supportive character, this is a thing that she can dual cast into her kit or triple cast into her kit. On top of that, you can do 2 damage dealing skills and cast this up, auto revive, damage mitigation, start healing your party. Very, very strong in the slot of your what do I want to call it? Your party. Well, they're very, very slot efficient. They have a supportive skill that's powerful. She has the traditional type 0 thing that we just got done talking about, where she fills the Evo gauge, LB gauge crystals to your whole party, and then KOs herself, so she can do that as well. Which adds just another tier of support that she can do here. And then she has this one right here, 4-turn cooldown available right away on turn 1. Fire, ice, and lightning in peril of 120%. For 4 turns to an enemy. It's a 60 times multiplier to one enemy as well, and it's the bolting strike chaining frame family. And then her final skill, the big one that she's just going to spam out over and over and over. It's not the biggest one because we just talked about 60 mod, but this is the one that she's going to be spamming out over and over. This is her new form of Rem's boomerang. Basically, it's magic damage 36 times multiplier to one enemy without having to do anything. If you use this after her cooldown skill, the 3-turn cooldown skill, it actually turns into a 40 times multiplier. Remember this, if used after thing, this is going to count the turn that you actually use the skill, and it'll count the turn after you use it. So, you know, if you have your imbues and imperils and stuff set up, you know, you use this 3-turn cooldown triple cast, you start with this, get the 250% magic buff, do the 34 times mod, and then you cast this skill 2 times. It's going to be a 40 times mod each cast, and then the following turn you can triple cast this skill if you want to right here, and it's going to be 40, 40, 40 on top of all of that. So pretty powerful there, right? You can start off, if you're using like a fire, ice, or lightning weapon on turn 1, you go on ahead, you do your 250% magic buff, you do your 120% imperil with the 60 times mod, and then you finish off with this 40 times mod, and then on turn 2 you just 40, 40, 40 your opponent right in the face. So very strong stuff. And now remember, these are pretty easy to access, right? Ace had to go through, and he was very strong too, right? But he had, you know, he had 30, 35 times mods, 40, 42 times mods at some point with his unlock skills. Rem has the 6 times multiplier chain cap though, so that means like she's basically going to be doing 50% more damage than what these mods say, which is unusual for a mage. Mages really don't get that 6 times multiplier chain cap increase. So you know, if you're finishing off opponents with you know, after a mod cap is capped out, which isn't that hard to do, especially if you're spark chaining, this is like a 90 times mod, this is like a 60 times mod, which is crazy if you compare it to like Ace's, you know, 40 something times multipliers there. So that's gonna be like one of the first mages that's gonna have that 6 times mod cap increase. We got a taste of it with Wangshu and Xinglong here, and this is a character that is kind of it seems kind of interesting that those characters are coming out, you know, this one in JP and Wangshu and Xinglong in global at the same time. Now for her passives, you're going to see very basic stuff, right? Can summon any Esper, has dual wield, is immune to stop, has LB damage, has the machine killer, demon killer passives, has the 100% machine killer and demon killer passives, so 150% total. LB damage, like we said, a magic and spirit buff, attack and defense buff, immunity to silence, poison, all that other good stuff. Her trust ability here, just like our boy Ace's, like nothing super insane. Evoke damage, limit burst gauge fill rate, a little bit of magic spirit and MP. So you're probably gonna, you won't feel the pain if you don't use her, a Trust Master Reward or Super TMR. So that's not that big of a deal like we talked about at the beginning, right? Her TMR might not be that good in global. You're not really gonna be giving up all that much if you don't want to use it in global, right? If you have a bunch of other stuff you've been accruing, but different super TMRs, right? Ravenheart, all this other stuff. You don't really need to worry about not using her TMR there, because you're really, as far as stats are concerned, not losing out on that much. Evo damage doesn't matter much. LB gauge failure rate on her doesn't matter that much. 50% Esper bonus stats sounds cool, but it's not that big of a difference. And then 20% Magic Spirit MP. You're probably going to be capping out on that stuff if you're using the True Dual Wield gear for Magic that's available in global. So if you have all that stuff saved up, you're gonna be good to go. She does have defense, magic, and HP buffs here, and then she's got some tasty looking multiplier increases. This is stuff that sadly isn't really associated with her other skills. This is like Tornado and Quake and whatever it is that she's access to as actual magic spells. Not that big of a deal. Yeah, we could bring back the big old Tornado frame, chaining frame family. She's gonna have, like, I think this takes Tornado to what is a 16 times mod increase here, like an 18.5 mod increase. Even with crazy stuff like Barbarisha Super Team Art, still not worth talking about. But yeah, she does have that. But then most importantly, like I said, the 6 times mod chain cap increase, the True Dual Wield Mastery as it's called, she does have that. And she has a 20% HP passive, Magic and HP, MP, or Magic and MP 40%, Spirit 30%, chance to ignore fatal damage, same thing, 5% HP lock. And then she does have some 17 and 8.0 multiplier increases for some of her other skills there, but nothing that makes this skill worse to just spam. She does have like this stuff up here, right? These pure magic skills. If you ever come across the boss that you don't want to use your physical attack magic damage skills, you want to use a magic attack magic damage dealing skill, then you can start using these ones. These ones will have like 30 times multipliers there. That'll be good for you. But until then, not that big of a deal there. She also does get another 50% True Dual Wield magic right here. So she starts off with 100% True Dual Wield magic. So if you've been bumming around waiting for a new mage in the future, 100% True Dual Wield, Rem's going to be very good for you there, right? Maybe you have like a Ravenheart here or there, or like a Nagi Super TMR and a Ravenheart capped right away, and that means you don't want to use your materia, which isn't that big of a deal because, like I just said, her trustability, not that big of a deal there. Her conditional effects, just one. Increase evocation case. So she's like way easier to use than Ace, who's got like 1,000 different, like, hey man, what do I do? Blah, 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 blah. Rem just wants to do a couple things. She wants to smash her face in. Very simple, very fluid. And I'm not saying Ace is bad. Ace is very good. I think Rem's better though. 6 times mod cap increase, way easier to use, has some very nice supportive aspects. You don't get lost in the sauce trying to use her kit. 36, 40 times multiplier, 60 times multiplier, and these are going to be even stronger due to the fact that she's got the 6 times multiplier chain cap. I think a lot of people are sleeping on how strong she is out there. Now, Ace does have a very powerful limit burst, but he doesn't have giant limit burst damage buffs. His is a 72 times mod. Hers is a 60 times mod though, so very strong, very powerful. His is a little bit stronger than hers, but keep this in mind. It's not, because she's got 6 times True Dual Wield Mastery cap, so this will cap out a 6 times multiplier cap increase, whereas Aces will cap out a 4 times multiplier cap increase. So keep that in mind. Very, 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 very strong when you're thinking about 6 times multiplier cap versus 4 times. So very, very powerful. This is going to cap out, what is this, 320? No, 360. The 360 mod, 60 times 6. Yes, please. Whereas this will be like 288. Who's got the stronger limit burst now? Ace. Who's got the stronger limit burst now? Ace. So these characters are very, very powerful. And there is another one that we're going to talk about, but he's going to be a free unit. It's Tenacious Warrior Mocking, and that's going to have an entire video dedicated to him because he's a free unit and he is mighty fine. He's probably the best free unit they've ever come out with in FFBE, and he's so strong. So we're going to be talking about that character tomorrow, another day, whenever. It's not gonna be this video because I don't want this video to go on for forever, and it's already been almost 25 minutes. So thank you guys so much for the support. If you want to see more stuff like this, go ahead, leave that subscription in the box down there. Click the notification bell so you get those notifications about when the content is released, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius or Final Fantasy related content, multiple times per week. This is where you want to be, this channel right here. For those of you out there who do want to go ahead and confuse the algorithm and think that this channel is actually relevant for people who exist in the world, go ahead, comment, like, all that good stuff. And those of you who go even a further step than those who are supporting the channel, Patreon and YouTube channel membership. Thank you guys so much. Please look into that if that's something you want to do. Get some nice little bonuses, perks, and all that good stuff. Get the content earlier in some instances. All that good jazz. I just said all that good jazz. I'm about to lose my whole career right now. But thank you guys so much for that support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.